No, it's hard for me to get into like games like that now. Like online games, Call of Duty I can hop into because I know I can turn it on in the game's 15 minutes to like 20. So I'll crank that out while Christian's cooking. It'll be fine. But like I bought Red Dead and like the intro to that game is a fucking hour and a half.
Ghost of Tsushima is like that.
Yeah,
or
so
sashimi,
yeah, delicious.
whatever.
The
Tsunami.
Yeah, I can't fucking, like, I can't justify sitting in front of a game anymore for fucking 8 hours and cranking out a story as much as I want to, because, like, Red Dead is fun. I do like those open world games. And, like, when GTA 6 comes out, I know I'm going to get it. I'm going to start the story. I'm going to drive around like an asshole for fucking 3 weeks, and then I'm not going to play it for 6 months. And then I'm going to hear about how good everybody liked it. And it's like, oh, I should hop back into that. And I'm going to hop back into it, and I'm going to go, wait. You still didn't fucking build the goddamn risers on the stairs in the basement. Why don't you go do that? And then you can come upstairs and play the game.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the video game. Because even if I'm doing other dumb shit, like if I'm watching a movie, I'm not like, oh, I should be doing this. Like maybe a little bit, but something about a video game really like sparks it in my brain. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm literally like living another guy. Though. Oh, if you can put that to bed and just veg out and play video games, man, that's a high.
If I could just play team deathmatch on Call of Duty, I can hit a point in my life where I'm like, I'm happy.
You know,
like this, I feel like I have purpose. I'm breaking this game down. I'm fucking people up.
Call of Duty's like basketball, though, where some people are too good. Like some people play basketball and then show up to the park with me and you that like came down to hoop for a fucking minute. Same thing, Call of Duty. Some people are putting in round-the-clock hours.
I gotta play for I gotta play for like 2 weeks and I can get back into it.
But if you're playing like against good, like your own level of competition, that shit is just.
Well, no, that's why I think Call of Duty now. I think because you don't stick with one thing I don't like about the new ones is that you don't stick with the same. Like the game ends, you don't go back to the lobby.
Oh,
you're booted out to the screen, and then you get put into a new game.
Oh,
yeah. So you can't stick with the same lobby and talk shit. You can't even talk shit anymore. They'll kick you. But I think what it is if you start doing really bad, like if you're doing really shitty and you're like 6-40, they'll kick you out. They'll put you in an easier lobby.
That makes sense.
So you're always kind of with people that are.
I don't get the other thing.
Because I know, because I would play with Cortez and like he plays a lot. So like compared to me, he's a lot better. So like he'll be going on runs in this game and I'll be fucking struggling. And I'm like, oh, I'm probably in his servers. I'm probably in his, because he's host, so I'm probably in his games.
Right.
So I'm getting paired with people that are fucking 300. Yeah. But then it does feel nice when you're like level 50 and you're in there and there's like level 250 dudes and you're in first place and you're like, you fucking posers. You guys are putting in the fucking hours.
You'd hate to see me
at
my height.
Yeah, I turned this shit on. I had to update for 6 days and my controller was dead. I'm still kicking your ass.
Fucking dusted this thing off.
Yeah.
That part I understand. I don't get the can't stay with your lobby or party or.
No, that should be an option. I miss that. I miss getting out and being like, yo, fuck you. This is fucking bullshit. You had that bullshit kill on this, that, and the other. Yeah, that's fun.
I think for a lot of people, that was like martial arts to them. Like they got that shit out there and then could go be a human in the world.
Yeah, because a lot of it would because now the game ends and you get like 15 seconds. And it's just fucking pandemonium sometimes. Just and then the game ends and it's like, I didn't have time to talk shit.
Mm-hmm.
Or someone will say some bullshit things right before the timer ends. Marco, you're a faggot.
Damn.
Fuck you! Who the fuck said that?
DMing them.
Yeah, exactly.
Xbox was a bigger for that, I felt like, than PlayStation.
When I was on Xbox, I'd be sniping in Battlefield and I would get a message that's like behind you. I'd be like, what the fuck? And I'd turn around and some dude would fucking kill me.
It seemed like it was easier to do it on there.
I never got good at any of that messaging shit. A lot of people had the keyboard.
Yeah. I remember seeing that as an attachment. I was like, who the fuck needs this crazy shit?
Yeah, no.
Where it sits like over the controller.
Yeah, no, crazy. Too much. I was on HBO. Did you ever they got the comic shows all on there now. So I've been saving a bunch of them. Or maybe it was
like the animated ones?
Yeah. You ever see the Silver Surfer show?
Yeah.
Is that good?
It's not like...
I like the art style a lot.
Yeah, it's like cool. Because it's that like computer generated animation they did for a little bit in the 90s. So I mean, it's cool for what it is. It's not like the best. It doesn't have like a real plot. It's just kind of.
So it's not like in depth like Cosmic.
No,
shit.
it's one season.
That's what got me interested. I was like, I think it's 2 seasons. I was like, this is short.
Maybe. Yeah.
I was like, I'll fucking crank this out.
It's something to fall asleep to, I would say. Like, throw it on at the end of the night. I don't think it's going to hold your attention, but it's like, you'll see, like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. The Avengers shows, any of those good? The X-Men show?
The X-Men from the 90s and the Spider-Man from the 90s are Marvel's best 2 cartoons.
Now, let me ask you about Todd McFarlane?
Yeah.
Todd McFarlane Spawn. How is this?
Spawn is the show specifically?
Yes.
The show's not terrible.
The movie.
The movie I've not seen. The movie is live action, and I've heard rough stuff.
Okay.
It's Cumtown already nailed the intro to the Spawns. Did you try watching it?
No, I didn't put it on yet.
The intro to Spawn is him sitting in a chair and being like, imagine a twisted world.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
Yeah. Nick already tore it up, so I'm not going to go through it. But I mean, like, it's that. Todd McFarlane is of the group of guys that worked at Marvel, and then they went to the office, and they said, this is like the turning point kind of where the characters stop necessarily being the selling point of a book, and now, like, someone's art style. Like, you're buying a book for this person, this creator.
Al had an autographed Spider-Man comic from him.
McFarlane, not putting it down or anything, but there's a lot of that, just to put it in perspective. Still cool, but it's not like...
You would never own one.
No, you don't really need autographs from guys. I mean, if you like Todd McFarlane, that's really cool. It's not like...
You don't like him.
He's cool.
That's not your level, though.
I appreciate guys that think about shit, and he gave a lot of consideration to how webs would look. If you want to Google Todd McFarlane Spider-Man webs, that was Todd McFarlane created. He didn't create the black suit Spider-Man, but he created Venom.
He created Venom.
That's his big thing. How that shoots out.
Yeah. This is the comic Al has autographed.
Yeah, I assumed.
Yeah, but his is silver.
It's probably is it 300 and not 301 where it has all the 300s behind it?
Let's see if this pops up. This one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there's like
it's worth a lot of money. It's like...
There's a lot of them, though, is the thing. So you can find people who are willing to spend that amount of money.
This one's worth $1,900. It's worth like 6 times that.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's autographed. Oh, so it's like $1,900.
That's what this person on Etsy's asking for. The best place to sell comics.
Well, that's where you sell comics. I don't know if anybody you know sells them, but...
But you do have to give the man props, because he tried to capitalize on comic book creators getting taken advantage of, which they have for the entirety of their existence. And him and who's the dude that made Rob Liefeld, a bunch of artists, Mark Silvestri. They grabbed Jim Lee was the biggest name of them all. He's just the dude that did the X-Men in the 90s that the show looks like. But they didn't tell Jim Lee what they were doing. So he just came along with them, and then Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld started going off to the top brass about, like, you better pay us what we deserve, or we're going to go across the street to DC, and they're going to do it. So Marvel was basically like, yeah, we pay you just fine. So then they go across the street to DC, and I might have this flip-flop, but they do meetings with both of them. And then DC's like, no, like... Because then we'd have to pay everybody. Like, we can't just do this. Is what artists get paid. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So then they went and they made Image Comics, which is where he makes Spawn.
Okay.
So he
goes to a different place.
Which Image is what eventually spawns Invincible. So it's like,
oh, that's cool.
It's cool that they made that. There needed to be that option.
Indie?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
That's what the independents are. Image forever was the third biggest and then Dark Horse for a while rounded out the big four, and then Dark Horse fell off horribly. And as they were falling off, their licenses for the last of their properties that people cared about started expiring, and Marvel had Disney money at this point, so they started sniping everything. So Marvel took back Conan, took back Aliens Predators, took back Star Wars, took back all that shit from them. And Dark Horse, I think, literally is on their last leg now. And instead of them, IDW is the part of the big four.
IDW? Is that the rating people?
No, IDW stands for like Idea Dream Workshop or some shit like that.
Oh.
They're a very good company. They have like the best paper.
The best paper?
For the like issues. Yeah.
That's a fun thing to have.
They just like give a shit.
They got the best paper.
They just DC gives a shit, but they're old school. So they fuck up still. Marvel prints their shit on toilet paper.
Really?
It's
because you would think in the comic industry, you would think that would be like a number one. That's something I would like. I'm a feel kind of guy.
yeah. Well, you'd feel how Marvel is the cheapest shit, where the fucking
I'd
cover
like to-
could fly off the spine and you could rip it apart.
No, I like.
And if they do a nice cover, they charge you at the dick for it.
That's ridiculous. How much is a comic these days?
I
I remember 10 cents.
Yeah, off the spinner rack. No, an average comic was $4 still by the time I left. DC would always do, every couple of years, they would like try to roll it back and make like half their line $3. $4 is the price of, which they always say at one point in time, like a fucking haircut and a comic and something else all costed the same 10 cents or whatever. So compared to those other two things, like a haircut costs way more, the other thing costs way more. So a comic did
It's
stay
still cheap.
relatively, although it does.
If you would have said $8, that
Well, I
would've
mean,
got-
people. I mean,
that would have got a little crazy.
you can't buy like every Marvel comic without spending hundreds of dollars. They print so much. At DC, again, they try to keep their line small so you can keep up with everything. DC tries to do things.
DC's a better company,
Yes.
obviously. Are they the first?
Before Marvel, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Detective comic.
Timely was Marvel's predecessor, and they were around during the same time.
Did these start in newspapers?
Comics started in, they had the newspaper ones, and then they started collecting, they started reprinting the newspaper ones in funny books, the funny pages.
The funnies.
Yeah. So, like, Dr. Fate, technically, his first appearance is in a comic that's called, like, World's Funniest Comics or
Really?
something, and it's like a backup
That's
where
a
they just
cool
do, like,
character.
a sci-fi. Yeah, exactly.
Shit movie. Good
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Speaking of shit movies that you wouldn't care about, we watched Deadpool, Wolverine.
I skimmed it.
Yeah. You didn't like it?
I don't know what people could have possibly liked about that movie.
I thought it was really funny.
I watched it in probably 7 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny.
I don't know how we're even friends. And
I thought it was funny.
what was funny?
He's funny. I like
No, he isn't.
Ryan Reynolds is funny.
It's fucking nothing, bro.
But I also don't have any attachment to any of the stuff. You know what I mean?
give a shit about Deadpool.
Not Deadpool, but like the other, like Wolverine you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
And it is disrespectful, I'll say. A lot of the stuff in the movie is.
They have the 20th century logo in.
Yeah, no, that's all gay. That's all gay. The writing was funny. A lot of it was funny. Now, I just have
Is it a comedy? Because every other 5 minutes they want to try to make it serious and have
no.
Ryan Reynolds be like, do shaky voice and be like, I'm trying my best. Like, have him do like
it's a
half a serious thing where it's
it's
like,
a
no, you're a fucking dickhead, right? That's your
it's
whole
a-
thing?
It's a comedy. It's a comedy.
Then stop trying to do half tearjerkers
No, it's a comedy. I don't know
at the midway and end points.
I don't know what they're trying to do, but it's a comedy. But
Then don't have Wolverine in it.
who's this chick? They say it's Professor X's sister. Do you know this chick?
Nah.
No? Well, she
I
can
don't
like
think so.
she's sticking her hands in people's in heads and like going through their memories and shit. And it's weird. But they did it really it's very uncomfortable. When you watch it, it's terrible.
Well, maybe I missed that part. I was literally skimming around for fight scenes and was shocked when I didn't find more than like one. And then I went back to the beginning and skimmed through again to look for anything of interest.
I as I was watching, I thought you would Wolverine and Deadpool have a fight scene where like they're not fighting each other, they're fighting together.
Mm-hmm.
But which is cool, but they put it over like 80s music, right? Which I assume you wouldn't like. But I assume there would be like a cool recut of that online that I think you're really gonna enjoy.
Like I said, I love all that. To me, that's cool shit that you do on YouTube.
I was
like to put it to cool music.
I had questions about characters. Channing Tatum is in it, and he plays Gambit.
I appreciate that they did the costume.
That's the funniest part of the goddamn film.
I forgot to watch that.
He has
part.
some fucking Bayou accent, and it's fucking hilarious. Yeah, to go. I'll fucking look it up. Hold on.
Shouldn't be hilarious. Should be how Gambit talks. I do appreciate that they gave him the head thing, though, and the purple chest thing. I mean, his costume makes 0 sense. It's completely just like a cool design and not, functionality.
Yeah.
There's a guy that has like a 6-minute video on YouTube of like, what the fuck is Gambit wearing? And he pulls up like all these other examples, and they're like, no, because this connects to his costume. This is a hood. This is this. He's like, Gambit's just rocking like a face sleeve.
I ever tell you about the dude in my my physics class who was obsessed with Gambit?
No.
Okay, we'll get into that in a minute. He'd stop conversations and stand up and talk about Gambit. And how, Gambit actually he turns potential energy into kinetic energy, and
it's true.
It's actually a really cool it's a cool thing. And the teacher was from like Thailand, and he was like, barely spoken. He's like, I don't even care. I don't want to talk about this. I want to talk about physics, and I want to write this fucking equation. You keep bringing up Gambit.
Oh, because dude would say like kinetic energy.
Yeah, and he would go,
this kid.
Gambit actually some of his skills. What the fuck is this? I want the goddamn scenes. Fucking assholes. He's the funniest part of the movie. But I had other questions about characters, but I can't find a list of characters.
The movie coming out, people ever thought that Channing Tatum, who appeared in the MCU as...
What are you doing?
Hawkeye.
The name's Remy Labo. Du Diable Blanc. But you can call me the Gambit.
It's been a...
They call me the Gambit.
Do they? Oh.
It's a good day, we never had a Wolverine. But I can tell you now, it's just a common courtesy to ask before you drink up all of my liquor.
It was supposed to be his own movie.
And one of us has gone up against her, they die.
Bro, I would scream laughing watching this.
Even that sweet baby angel Johnny Storm been going missing, like...
Cher talked him into a team-up, and Johnny came...
I'm all with it.
See, it's supposed to be cool that Gambit showed up. It's not like a big fucking joke.
It's funny, though. His accent's hilarious.
Yeah, because it's Channing Tatum, and he doesn't sound like that. They just hired a guy that looks like Gambit and gave him red eyes.
I had other questions about characters. Oh, dude, Blade's in it. Wesley Snipes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, it was hilarious. They brought Elektra. She was in it.
Is it Jessica Garner?
I don't
Jennifer Garner?
Maybe. Jennifer Gardner sounds familiar.
Well, yeah, when you can't write a good movie, you go, oh, look, you know this guy. Hey, look, you know this guy. And
I think that's what it was. I think this was just like a throwaway because it was like in they're like dead world or some shit. They get like banished to some world that doesn't matter where all like the reject characters are, like Blade and Elektra and all those people.
Yeah, terrible misuse of Wolverine.
A terrible misuse.
You get the guy for who knows how many movies.
In the they fucking brought out Chris Evans. He's fucking...
Yeah, again, the guy that was like, I don't want to be Cap anymore. He's like, but I'll pop in for fucking dumb shit.
So he's not Cap.
Yeah.
They brought it, and they think he's Cap, and then he fucking goes, "Use flame on," and I forget he was in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
I think I saw that part.
That movie's great.
What?
That Fantastic Four movie.
I rewatched them.
I used to like
The
that one.
first one is very fun.
That's the one where they get their powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's great.
First one is very fun. The second one is like
I never seen that. I've only ever seen that first one.
they make Galactus a smoke monster, which is gay. Silver Surfer's kind of cool. Like he's got moments where you're like, "Ooh, damn, Silver Surfer," but it's a lot of like bullshit drama. Like I don't know, a lot of like fake. We're mad at each other but we need to fix our team dynamic before we can defeat the villain because unity is what will win.
You know what's really gonna win? These Chinese wolf robots.
Did you look them up after I told you?
No, I'm looking them up right now.
The Recon Wolf leading the charge. See how the one has the AK like upside down on the side?
In today's video, we're taking a closer look at an exciting new development.
Do we listen to this dude?
It's like when you watch a review of something, they just read the side of the box. Like, we're going to watch what it does. That's going to tell us what it does.
Are changing the future. Unmanned combat system built on quadrupedal robots. These robots
Find it going upstairs, dude. It was crazy.
experts and spectators interacting with reporters, urban landscapes, plateaus, mountains, and other with high the robo-wolves.
Yeah, I don't know if it just like scans it and decides like what level to.
It's 100% what it does.
Because that's
That thing sees a 3D image of the world.
Weighing around 7, where groups of robo-wolves work in tandem with airborne drones. This integration
He said the group of wolves runs in tandem with airborne drones. So not only can they see in front of them, but dude, how
Wolves
fucking
and hawks working together.
How fucking scary is that? Because it's not like we're on the ground and you have a fucking drone in the air and you have a dude like, hey, there's 4 guys to your left, walking. Okay, they're right there. Yep, take them out. It's literally, they just have access to that information in real time. There's no fucking delay.
Mm-hmm.
So they're walking up the corner knowing that there's 12 guys coming a fucking block up.
Yeah, the wolf is seeing what the eagle is seeing.
Yeah, and seeing in front of it at the same time.
It's fucking literally like,
You know how scary that is?
and they're going to give these things fucking AI soon enough, I'm sure. Or the AI will take them.
Yeah, they'll get AI to where they can make real-time decisions and, like, break things down strategically.
And then you're going to have situations like Israel
Because are these
putting in their fucking wolves, and then it's going to get up to the Palestinian child and realize that this isn't the real objective. And it's going to go back and it's going to kill the guy who sent it to kill a kid.
Exactly.
Because the
Look at
AI
this.
knows better.
This thing, this, like, Jeep thing they come in. Imagine this thing pulling up, the side opening, and 5 wolves hop out.
Yeah, there's like 2 guys in there, and I guess they got to stay like 5 miles away or something, like within
5 miles.
Something, I don't know.
5 wolves drop out, and out of the top, fucking...
Yeah, you pull up on one side of the woods, and then they go crawling through it to the other side where the target is.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Look at this Chinese robot. It's got fucking wheels for feet.
Oh my god, it's going so fast.
Oh my god.
Wheeled robots and quadruped robots, capable of climbing 80-centimeter steps and 45-degree slopes. It features first-person view functionality, has an IP...
China's wouldn't have a face. We put faces on our robots.
That's the thing, because they don't need a face.
Previously,
Its face is a fucking gun.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a rail gun.
powerful firefighting and search and rescue capabilities during a drill.
It can also be equipped with a mounted submachine gun.
On the
It can also be made of knives. That's what it looks like, a buzzsaw. Like
Yeah.
it just runs through you.
This is from Chinese. This is probably like the Chinese communist video they sent out to their people.
That's interesting. I wouldn't
You
think
will see
China
these-
would pick like a pretty girl. That's like our style.
Yeah.
I would have thought they just had like the general.
These
out
will
there.
be on every street corner.
If you were thinking about not going home before curfew, I hope this makes you make up your mind.
I hope this makes you understand. The new robot, Uber. Will bring your food faster.
Make sure to leave a good tip.
This is, yeah, exactly. Harato!
Yeah, we go
Haraki!
Japanese.
Yeah. Oh, I can move
This
it.
is the guy that makes the death machine. The guy that's never had sex.
He gives her the fucking control.
Yeah.
I told her not to hit the red button. No, that's horrific.
Oh, I thought that was him coming from touching a girl.
Oh. No, that was her hitting the wrong button and the gun going off and sawing her in half.
What do you think wins out there, being a girl or being Chinese?
In China?
No, I mean like in her brain of what would she know how to use it because
What?
she's Chinese, the machine, or would she not know how to
She
use
was
it? 'cause
using it
it's a
pretty.
girl?
She turned. She spun it around and had it walk into.
I know, but in the stereotypical, in the
stereotypical-
racist mind,
The Chinese.
Chinese wins
No,
out.
you give it to any girl out here, they're not gonna know what to do with it.
I was gonna say
I gave my sister my drone. She almost fucking put it down. And she's gay.
me, I be.
Get coasting. Crazy.
Did you see that guy put up a video? He's like, I think in Ohio, he has some drone manufacturing company. He makes drones for the military. And he put up a video of what he thinks the things in New Jersey are. And it's, he's not like a guy that does, he's like a
ultimate
regular
surveillance-
ass
the
dude.
surveillance machine.
So he's just talking for a long ass time. He doesn't have like, he doesn't know how to hit his bullet points.
Yeah.
But
He's retarded.
he was saying he thinks it's the reason they're flying so low is because they're sniffing for a nuke. And I guess there's like rumblings that there's a bunch of nukes that went missing from Ukraine.
So he thinks they're ours?
He has some source that he couldn't name, but this is the thing that made him like make the video. He's like, you know, we deal with certain individuals and in this line of business, and there was one individual that said that he had hands on this thing,
So let
and
me
he
get
knew that it was there. So when they're saying that it's not there now, it's like, where is it?
So let me get this straight. So he's proposing that these drones are ours because there's nukes went missing in Ukraine. So now they could be supposedly maybe on U.S. soil.
He was saying they were our drones because you couldn't fire them. He said most of these drones were the kind that were like helicopter style, not plane style. And those ones only have enough of a battery life to last this many hours. And he's like, so you couldn't be firing those things off that far off the coast.
Flying them across, yeah.
You'd have to be shooting them from like locally pretty
Yeah.
much.
From like a military base.
Right. So there was that aspect of it. And then I guess, yeah, there's like rumblings from other conspiracies, people.
Which makes sense why they wouldn't want that out.
Mm-hmm.
A nuke missing? You know how fucking crazy that is?
And I guess all these things have, he was saying they're equipped with sensors for that, for like another reason. So it wouldn't have been that suspicious necessarily, but the fact that they're flying so low is like where the sensor could actually pick up that stuff.
Let's talk about that false flag for a minute.
What?
A nuke going off.
Oh, just them hold. Oh, you know Colin Quinn, that comedian?
Yeah.
He pulled out a quote from like the early 1800s, I guess, and it's the lead up to a election, and one of the candidates is saying, if the other person wins, this will be the end of democracy as we know it. And it's like all the same shit they say every fucking 4 years. And it's like 200 years of this shit. And every 4 years we all go, Durr!
Yeah.
This could be it.
This is the end of democracy.
Yeah. Fuck, like, so goddamn dumb. Meanwhile, yeah.
They said
like
this 100 years ago when
blood wars happening.
Yeah.
We have the CIA fighting proxy wars with the FBI with like third world nations.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Because we're too dumb to be like, oh, that you? Oh, my bad.
My bad, dude.
We had a mission over there, too.
That's the Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
We can't communicate.
And we speak the same language.
Exactly. A student is bringing black illustrations to the medical field. They're calling him a hero. Do you hear about this?
No.
This is big. This is breaking new bounds of diversity that we've never seen before. I've never seen a black image of a baby on a wall in a doctor's office. But this young student is making them, and
I feel like I've seen brown.
NBC News is hyped.
I'll admit I've not seen that shade. I've seen brown.
That's dark.
I've never seen ebony like that.
No, that's ebony, baby. Ebony's so fun to say.
It's like a dog whistle, but instead of racism, it's like porn.
Hitler's last living relative, convicted of pedophilia
Who
after kissing a 13-year-old girl. If you can't bring any more bad news to this family, these poor people. He has some sort of head tattoo that I'm sure is.
I feel like for head tattoo, you got to go shaved head. You can't be balding with head tattoo. No. Looks insane.
That's crazy. God. China discovers a gold-filled mine nearly worth $100 billion.
Oh, my God. Anunnaki really slipped up on this one.
Massive gold deposits in the Wenggu gold field, estimated to hold about 1,100 metric tons of gold worth $100 billion.
Doesn't that suck that guy who found it gets nothing and it's just like, for China. China's $100 billion.
For the motherland.
Meanwhile, here, if you find like a dinosaur bone on your land, it's like, you got to pay my ass.
Yeah. It's my bone, man. Exactly. It's a large
like, whose name's on this deed?
They're going to lead gold production globally. Think about that. What can that mean? Other than that, I got nothing really else. Marv from Home Alone is living on a cattle farm, and he's a sculptor. Man's living his best life. I'm seeing YouTube videos from this dude.
Oh, I thought you were saying it like it was a bad thing. I was gonna say that sounds fine.
No, dude, he's like herding cattle, and he goes, it's him with the fucking frizzy ass hair, and he looks all disheveled, and he's like, yeah, I'm working on my sculpture.
Is he in anything other than that movie?
No, dude, he's living off the fucking Home Alone money, as you should.
How did he get that part?
I don't know. Look at him. You telling me he ain't a wet bandit?
Oh, I mean, he's perfect. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you got Joe Pesci on one side, then you got a guy I've never heard of.
Dude, but it's him, and he's like, I've just finished my sculpture. I'm gonna show you guys a look. Pops it around. It's a fucking beautiful sculpture it's a chair, and there's a girl like draped backwards on it, flowing hair, fucking like leg up, and it's fucking beautiful.
How are the tits?
They're there. I don't remember specifically. They weren't really a highlight of the piece.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah. All I got's Bible left, baby.
Yeah, I think the only thing I had was I've been watching the guy that Billy Carson debated and got smoked by.
Did you unsub from Billy?
Man's a charlatan.
Is it?
And you know what was fucked up? Because the dude he debated,
That's heresy.
he's literally the dude he debated is a linguist type of guy, but he's also like religious.
I'm a cutting linguist
And
and
so
a
he-
master debater.
Oh, thank you. But the dude, like the sphere that he's in is like real religious. So he's talking to some guy whose podcast they're on, and the dude's saying like, oh, you know, man, we get so many comments and messages from people worried because Billy will say things like, well, you know, Jesus means hail Zeus because that's, you know, where that comes from. And
Which I've heard him say.
Same, and I've been like,
And I look it up, and I can't find it.
because it's not a real thing. The guy's like, no, Zeus in Greek is Dios, and Hail is something else. So it would be this Dios. You know, like it wouldn't even be fucking.
Yeah.
It makes zero
Is
sense.
Yeshua fake?
Yeah, he broke like 4 of those.
Because I couldn't
things.
find that fucking thing either.
Yeah, he knocked down a bunch of those things, and
We've been saying that for years.
yeah. I'll send you the thing, but the guy was just making the point of like people were genuinely concerned that they are gonna like go to hell because they're praying to the wrong person, that they've been praying to Jesus this whole time, and Jesus isn't Jesus.
Yeah.
It's you like I'm supposed to be saying Yahweh or Yeshua or whatever the fuck. And the guy was like, yeah, no, it's literally, and he traces the translation back. Like, this sound means this. It came from Latin. It came from Greek. Like, and he's like, and if they wanted you to preserve any specific name, they would have done it. But every translation seems fine letting it switch to the native tongue. He's like, look at Peter. He's like, it's Peter, it's Piotr, it's Pablo. It's like whatever culture you go to, there's just like that version of Peter.
Oh, Pablo.
Pietro.
Pedro.
Yeah, Pedro's one. So yeah, I think that dude's name is Wes Huff.
It's a good name for that.
Yeah, I thought so. Very Christian, clean cut, blonde.
Yeah.
White guy name.
It's funny how now that we're reading the Bible, we are now shedding all these false prophets and are now finding like
well, this is why we have to read
Mr.
stuff.
Donahue.
People lie. You trust someone to read it for you and sum it up,
And
like
they're
the way we're doing.
They're full of shit. Yeah, exactly. Not like we're doing. And Mr. William Donahue is doing. The Bible.
that?
The Bible.
Oh, that guy.
The Bible.
That guy's great. I meant to look into his I'm going to watch that Kundalini video tonight.
I didn't finish it, but it was good.
To our limited subscribers that care about MMA, Napoleon Bonaparte's new video came out.
You post on the channel?
Hmm?
You post on the MMA channel?
No, I haven't in a while. I'm probably not even going to do the end of year awards. Takes too much time.
Yeah.
Sucks.
For it to get flagged.
Yeah. I might do a couple. We'll see. Napoleon Bonaparte, though, is a guy that has a channel, and he's the dude that did Pride Never Die, which is like a 3+ hour Pride homage video.
With fights?
The fights, but just like capturing the era. Because I wasn't around for the Pride. Pride died
That's
like
the
as I
90s.
got in. No, Pride's to 2000s. It died in like 09,
Okay.
2010, and then 2010 is when I started watching. So they play all these highlights, and I was like, "Damn, that's cool as hell."
Yeah. No, I liked the when I had I think I had your MMA or your UFC,
Fight Pass.
whatever that was. I would watch the Pride with the girl with the tits.
Yeah,
Yeah. Coming on to the next fight of Pride.
it's a lot of this.
Yeah, that's all that is.
None. Get a little boob shake in there.
Which I do respect.
It's hard, like ethically or something. You'd like to think like, oh, my product will sell itself. I don't need to just put tits next to it. But I'll be damned if you don't see tits
At
next to
least try.
something and then be like, pretty good.
It's good.
Like, it does work. It's annoying that it works.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in myself. But like, if you showed me commercial A and commercial B, the same commercial except one has a hot girl, I'm like,
Yeah.
pretty good.
Hence why a lot of guys' Instagrams feeds are all fucked up, because you see the tits go by and you click on them because it's tits.
Or you don't
But
even
then-
click on it, but it knows that you hovered.
It knows that you stayed there. And then now in your recommendations, you go to click search and you're just getting tits in your videos. And that looks odd. That looks weird.
And it's also not what I want for.
Yeah. Instagram, I think now is
Conducive
allowing you to clear your algorithm, restart,
Wow.
which is cool. I think every subscription should do that, or every social media should do that. Like
Sometimes you gotta,
especially
like-
on YouTube, because like I go down like some dumb shit on YouTube where it's like I don't want this in my algorithm.
Well, YouTube sometimes takes one day of you looking into something, and it's like, well, this is probably your new life. And it's like,
Yeah.
nah, bro.
Or I would also like a button that I'd like a button that turns off the algorithm for a minute. Where I could turn it off and then we can watch Pop the Balloon for 5 hours and then I could turn it off.
Shit like that, yeah.
Turn it back on and be like,
Then
okay,
that dominates
start
the
tracking.
algorithm, and I'm like, I'm not looking for this around the clock.
No, I can't.
I'll call the
Spotify does
Fox
that.
News.
Yeah. Spotify does that. You can leave you can make a playlist of music and then leave that out of your algorithm. So it won't count it towards like your analytics.
That's smart.
Which is nice because like you get a day list and it's like I don't want to listen to Hispanic music. I wanted to listen to Hispanic music when I was making tacos at home. I wanted to listen to something Latin. But now it's a
Latin flavors.
Yeah, but now it's a Thursday evening and I want to listen to jazz and then you're giving me fucking
music should have the thing that the streaming services have where it's like black voices, Latino,
Latino hits.
Yeah, Hispanic hits.
God. Speaking of Jews, should we get back into the Bible?
Jew jams.
Jewish jams. Jew jams. See another button. Yeah, so I pop on the radio. They got this new channel. WMEF Jew Jams.
You guys heard of this?
No, I pop it on. It's a bunch of Hebes yelling into a microphone.
Said if I wanted to hear that, I'd have stayed home.
That's fun. All right. We're going to hit this.
I'm so hungry.
I'm hungry as well.
I didn't eat anything today.
I didn't either. I got up early and started doing the Bible.
That'll probably help.
Yeah. I got up early, started doing the Bible. Didn't realize outlining 5 chapters would take fucking 3 hours, but it did. I expected this to be a lot of bullshit, and they really dragged this out. Genesis should be about 47 chapters. And as you'll see, Jacob really clings on to life for about 4 chapters.
He's such a bitch.
Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, he gets forgiven for all his early...
He'll piss a lot of people off with that.
But I mean, he gets forgiven by his brother, even though he's been a fuck the whole time.
He dies being a fuck guy.
He does get fucked over by the father-in-law. That's like the one bad thing he has to deal with. But other than that, he gets like pretty...
Losing his youngest son.
He didn't lose him. He thinks he did.
Yeah, well, he's depressed for 20 years.
But that's my point, is like he gets to fuck other people over and his brother forgives him. He's not depressed for 20 years. Then a bad thing happens to Jacob. He's depressed for 20. It's like you have 11 other sons that need you.
Yeah.
You're just done. Like, you have 2 wives.
As we'll see at the end of this, he halfway fucks over Joseph. Not fucks him over, but does the thing that kind of pisses him off.
And everyone else is happy to go back to God, to die, and to ascend. He's clinging to life. It's a loser.
They kind of cling out. I think he's ready to die. He's on his deathbed for 4. You'll see. You'll see.
Tell me.
Before a little psalm. That's what I called, right?
Hymn.
A hymn.
I think a psalm is like a passage. I think a hymn is a song. If a psalm is a song, I'd be wrong.
Psalms, the book of Psalms is actually all just songs, so that's going to be fun. We'll get some nice music. We'll sing. Welcome back, baby. This is the Bible. We're capping off Genesis today. You guys thought we wouldn't be able to do it. And look at us. From the Spirit of God, the Almighty, we're here. We're back. You thought we wouldn't stick with it. It's so good you can't put it down. Repent, brothers. That dude at the abortion rally was right. We need to repent.
Trust God to vanquish your enemies.
Jesus Christ. I self-lord am him.
Him?
I don't know.
Me. Master.
Master. I self-lord am master. All right.
Guru taught me that.
Guru. Gahuru.
Of Gangstar.
Really?
Just a lyric, and I was like,
Let me ask
oh,
you-
is that what that means?
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
Huh.
Do you put we can cut this out. Do you put the clouds for the background of Bible? Do you use those backgrounds?
I didn't once, and then I asked you for it, and I think I have.
I could stop the wide right now, and then when I start it back up, you'll know that's where you put the clouds in the last video of the wide, because we're going to finish off, and then we'll probably end. You want me to do that, or you just want to find it? And then I'll stop it in 10 minutes. You're going to have another video regardless. Would you rather just be fully clouds?
I guess if I'm going to have another video regardless, then yeah.
Byron asked me for these cameras. He's like, "You have a good recommendation for cameras?" I do. I was like, "I do actually, because I did a lot of research myself on the cameras." And I showed him. He goes, "Ooh, so there's 400?" I go, "Yeah." I go, "And would you believe that these are the cheapest cameras you can get without a recording limit?" Okay. Fucking.
So what are we, 45?
Yeah. All right. Sip of water. All right, you beautiful bastards. We're back. We capped off at 45 on the last episode. That's basically where Pharaoh sent a convoy. Jacob finally learns that Joseph's alive. So they hop on the convoy to start to head out. 46 now is broken pretty much into 3 chapters.
Does he know that his kids?
No, and I don't think he ever finds out. Which is interesting that you brought that up, because I had that thought when I was reading and I finished it, and I was like, so does he die and never knows that?
All his kids?
We'll go into this because we learn the futures of what will happen to the tribes. But 46 is basically broken up into 3 chapters. You get Jacob's final encounter with God. You get a count of all of Jacob's descendants again. And then you get Jacob's reunion with his son. So, Jacob, they finally they get to Egypt. They're heading to Egypt. Jacob pulls the caravan over in Beersheba, Beersheba. He makes an offering to God. This is when God tells him. He makes an offering to him. God speaks to him, and he calls him Israel. This is not what I'm realizing. Nobody calls him Jacob. God only calls him Israel. I think because even like his son's, or I guess his son's going dead, but like he's only referred to as Israel when God's talking to him. Another thing, we don't make offerings to God anymore.
He's not even around, really.
No,
But maybe that's why.
but what's the offerings?
The altars or the offerings?
He says they pull over, and he pulls over and he wants to make an offering to God. So I assume you would build an altar and then make an offering. But is the offer I know they were killing goats before and shit.
So they're crops or goats, right?
That is
Burnt
like
animals.
burnt whatever. Like you make an offering. So like I think it's weird that we don't do that anymore.
Oh, now.
Yeah, like nobody makes an offering like what?
Yes, it is weird.
Right?
I'm thinking about as I told you. I'm gonna get very into sacrifices and blood rites and hexes,
curses.
Yeah.
If I can learn to strict blindness on
smiting people,
it.
being a vessel of God,
Well, we're gonna learn alchemy. That's what it
enacting
is.
His will here
No.
on earth.
We're saying it now, but this ends with us drinking piss.
My shower argument today was me being like, this is why people fucking shoot up schools.
You've been smitten. You've been
What?
stricken with a curse of yes.
Smitten, I think, means like
Smited by
Happy.
the Lord. Yeah. What?
smitten,
Smitten. You've been smitten by the Lord.
smited.
Smitten? That's not a word?
Smitten is like you're happy.
Really?
Smitten is like, yeah, you're like overly happy, like smitten with something. Yeah, that.
I'm smitten with. Are you smitten with joy or are you just smitten?
The joy is the smitten, I believe. I don't think you're smitten with joy. I think you're. Look it up.
I think you're full of shit. But we don't.
Smitten.
We don't even have to look it up. I guess we're not gonna rest until.
Oh, it's the same word for both. Be strongly attached to or something. Just most smitten by.
Isn't that nice when we're both right?
That's what I kind of meant by happy. I guess it is only in reference to that. And then, yeah, it says archaic. Defeat or conquer.
That's nice.
Strike with a firm blow. That's crazy. That word would mean both those things.
Yeah. Well, English is stupid. It's a dumb fucking language. We have too many words and not enough words. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it either means you got struck down or you like somebody.
No, it's fucking
Like,
stupid.
what the
It's the
fuck?
dumbest thing. No.
How?
It does.
What Latin tracing back
No.
can you write both things?
Yeah, no,
Well, back in the day, you used to hit people when you liked them. So
Yeah.
it was both things.
yeah, exactly.
Now it seems weird. You don't hit people when
Yeah.
you like them.
And I get labeled with a fucking learning disability.
Yeah,
because I
exactly.
can't understand a bullshit
Exactly.
language. Yeah, no, it's fucking ridiculous. It's special ed my whole life.
Meanwhile, they told me I was fucking smart when I'm like, clearly not. And then allowed me to like tumble head over
Yeah.
heels as I got to like, whoa, chemistry. Like,
Yeah, no, we're on very opposite ends of the spectrum.
yeah. Meanwhile, we're right here.
Yes. No. That's
No, they should have had us in like fucking building shit class.
yes. Deep research. We should have been in. Yeah. No. We
Well, they should pay people to do history and not have it be that you
No,
have to go be
yes.
a fucking teacher and half the time teach history and half the time teach them sociology
Yeah.
or something.
No. God. Speaking of God, Israel pulls over. He wants to speak to the Lord one last time. God says he has no need to be afraid to move his family because God is always with him. I'm going to be with you. I'm with you guys for a minute, so don't even worry about it. You are still going to be a great nation. And he finishes off by saying, Joseph will be the last one to close your eyes when you die. So he says, you're not going to die. You're going to see your son. He's very happy. Says bye to
It's
God.
beautiful imagery.
Beautiful imagery.
The last one to close your eyes before you die.
How incredible is that? No. You hang on that for a minute.
Haunting.
No.
Your son that you think is dead already,
Yeah, no.
that now is alive as you're dying, he'll be there for like.
He'll be there. That's haunting. Think. It's eerie.
In the desert.
Jacob is at ease. He's much happier, and his family begins a slow march to Israel. Jacob's like 100 and something. Imagine moving, walking across lands. It's insane. Now the story takes a break, and it counts all the descendants of Jacob, which equals up to 66. With the people that are already in Egypt,
Very demonic.
there will be 70 people in Egypt.
Okay.
70 is associated with wholeness and completeness in Jew talk, Jewry.
Not 100.
70. 7, I don't know.
7's good.
7 is very good. Jacob and his family arrived in Egypt in a region called Goshen. I'm not even going to spell that one because I'm confident on that.
I think you just sail with the pronunciation.
Okay. Jacob and Joseph meet and hug.
You're going to be in the ballpark. Someone
They're going to know what I'm talking about.
with the context of the time and place.
You know.
what's a more
We're in 46. Read the fucking chapter.
What's a more annotated book than the Bible? You can literally fucking like bounce around through it and be like, okay, 46.
Goshen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Goshen. Okay, you get it. Jacob arrives in Egypt. Joseph hops on his chariot, rides over in excitement. They hug, they cry, they kiss, they rejoice. It's a beautiful moment. Jacob says he's not ready to die. I don't remember that. Oh, Jacob says he's ready to die. I'm sorry.
Now that he's got his boy.
Yeah, my boy, I'm ready to die. Joseph now, and he doesn't die for another fucking 3 chapters.
It's a tease.
Joseph now prepares the family to meet with the Pharaoh. He tells them to tell the Pharaoh that they are lifelong herders. It isn't revealed in the book, but Egyptians have a dislike for shepherds and herders. I don't know why. He might be telling them this to ensure that the people would be tolerated, but not fully absorbed in the pagan Egyptian society. So it's going to preserve their like religion or whatever.
It's like he's not giving them an option to get caught up.
You're not going to get caught up in in Ra and
because they're not going to give you a chance to.
So,
they're not going to fuck with you like that.
No, because you're a shepherd. You're always going to shepherd.
It's not like you're showing up to a new city and you're like, I love this way of life here. Yeah,
yes, I want to be part of you guys.
Right.
No, they're going to be living on the outside.
He shut that down from the jump.
Exactly.
Sure the true, because he's here knowing like these guys think he talks to God.
Yeah, no, exactly. He talks.
These guys are praising crocodiles.
No, it doesn't make sense. No,
like brother, I got the
I've
direct
talked to
line.
him. Yeah, don't even worry about it. 46 times, we're on 47. Joseph preps his family for the meeting. He selects 5 brothers to represent the family. When Joseph, the Y just died, but it's okay. We'll be in the 2. When the Pharaoh asks them what they do, they do exactly what Joseph says. They say, hey, we're herders. They also say they want to settle in the town of Goshen, which is on the outskirts. Spiritual living somewhere separate from the most of the other Egyptians would help preserve So again, to help preserve their religion, they're not going to get fully absorbed with them. The Pharaoh tells Joseph that he could settle there. Joseph will be their patron, so he'll be under their care. So the Pharaoh isn't in charge of them. Joseph is in charge of them. They don't talk to Pharaoh. They talk to Joseph. Joseph talks to Pharaoh. So he's like, you guys can live fine over there. You're under Joseph. Oh boy. I wish we could make this font a little bigger.
Notes is weird like that.
The Pharaoh also puts Joseph in charge of his livestock. So the Pharaoh's like, hey, you guys are lifelong herders. You take care of my shit. Jacob then blesses. Everybody's happy. Jacob then meets with the Pharaoh, and they have a respectful conversation. Jacob blesses Pharaoh. These are these are the Pharaoh who's in charge of Egypt and all of their like pagan belief, like the Egyptian religion, and Jacob, the head of this new Israelite.
That's why I thought it was weird that you said they weren't going to meet for a second.
These are like 2 titans,
right?
You know what I mean? Like
this Joseph, it will be the guy, but as long as Jacob's still alive, he's not really the guy.
No, exactly. Like Joseph is the dude. It's like Abraham, Isaac, Joseph. So it's like it's 2 titans meeting. Joseph blesses him, and it's
Jacob.
Yes, Jacob. But I like to say Israel. It just makes things a lot easier.
It does.
Israel. He blesses him. I
talked to your friend the Pharaoh today.
Joseph has gotten everything he's wanted, Joseph has gotten everything he wants, and he understands that it's only because of God and God's plan, baby. That's all it is.
What I understand.
In other news, terribly, the famine is still going on.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's happening still.
Can Jacob cure the Pharaoh's famine?
Next time on Bible Talk.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Unfortunately, Joseph is still selling grain to everybody. People are running out of money. It's a long time. It's a long famine. Joseph now says, I'll tell you what, how about you give me your livestock and we'll run it like a mortgage. Pharaoh owns your livestock, but you keep it and you use it, take care of it. But in the end, Pharaoh owns it. People are happy. They go, fine. You own the livestock. We'll give us grain. We stay alive. They kind of have no choice. People now have nothing but their land and themselves. And now they're broke. They're out of livestock. They have nothing left. Joseph goes, how about this? How about you give us everything, including yourself? And you guys will almost be like indentured servants to the Pharaoh. Not slavery. And they do make a point and say, while it's very common for this time, for like indentures, for like, you have the main dude, then you kind of just live in the land, you till the land, you make sure everything's cool. But like in the end, I fucking own you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They make a point to say it's nowhere near as bad as the slavery the Israelites will face later on in Exodus. They go, this is common for this time, that Jacob is kind of making them slaves to the Pharaoh. But it's nowhere near as bad as later on when this happens to the Jews.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because new people come in power. They kick the Jews out or whatever. I'm not really sure what happened. We'll get into that probably next year. People are still happy. They're like, fine, whatever. As long as we can eat, as long as we can live. They keep giving the Pharaoh 20% of the top crops, and they thank him for saving their lives at the cost of their freedom. Jacob lives another 17 years in Egypt.
Are they only doing this to be near Joseph? Like, would they have been fine living where they were living?
Jacob?
And his family and all the people?
Joseph wants to move his family into Egypt because he's head honcho now.
But doesn't want them to get swept up in a religion?
Because he still knows, like, hey.
Why does he want them there then?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't they be better off, like, not being indentured servants to Pharaoh back where they came from?
I don't know.
Is this like, because Egypt can't be
Unless,
closer.
do you think it's like he wants to ball out? And he's like, come on, I want to. It's like when someone from the ghetto gets in like the NFL and they're like, I want to ball out now. I want to move my family out of Harlem into fucking Miami. We're going to fucking hang out. This is my people. If I move somewhere else, I'm moving you guys with me. We're a fucking unit because I made it.
Perhaps.
I made it, Ma.
Do you think
I love you, Dad.
Dad.
Jacob.
You said ghetto.
In that context, yes. I brought it back to Bible.
Oh, okay.
I weave.
Excuse me. Do you think he needs Jacob there so that he can talk? Like, does him and Pharaoh say something to each other that makes it make sense that he needs him there rather than leaving him back where he came from?
I don't think so. I think he's just
because Egypt has to be further away from Israel,
Canaan. Yeah.
Right?
Well, he still says
from where they were.
Yeah. Well, he still said. Well, also after this, because Jacob's gonna die soon, so he still has his 12 kids. When we get on later, he's gonna start appointing like he's gonna like unify like the tribes and say you guys are gonna do this, and this. So maybe they were living out in the sticks. Now maybe because they're closer to Egypt, maybe the boys can get out and like meet people and like branch out and like be better. I don't know. Maybe. God's got a plan, baby. You know what I mean? Shit just don't happen. Like Mr. Donahue said, the planets up there aren't moving around at random. When you read the Bible, shit makes sense.
Yes, sir. We are located in between the China kitchen and the
mattress store.
Yeah.
On 145th and Damon.
In the basement.
In the basement. People are still giving him 20%, whatever. They're happy. Jacob lives another 17 years after coming into Egypt. So he's still kicking. He thought he was on his deathbed. He's still kicking. He's now starting to prepare for death. And he tells his son, bring my body back to Canaan because I want to be buried with Abraham and Isaac. And he agrees. Apparently, I think you can go see that.
Yeah, I watched the video, but
be
they
kinda
have it like really.
Yeah, I don't
walled
think we
off.
probably can't go, but you can like see the tombs and shit. I think that'd be really cool to see if like shit really, if they get their shit together and really dies down over there.
Yeah.
I think a couple of Wilos like us can really go have some fun.
We're Jewish passing.
That's what I mean. Yeah, 100%. But is that under Jewish control? Genesis 48.
Oh
Jake-
yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, right? You know what I mean? Who knows?
We're non-Jewish passing also.
We are. That's the key. We go in. If we go in the height of summer, I might be Arab passing.
I was gonna say you could pull that off.
Yeah. 48. Jacob is on his deathbed. They're really dragging out his death. He's been dying for 3 chapters now. He's lived for 17 years. Joseph comes to his side with his 2 oldest boys. Joseph's 2 oldest sons. This part gets really confused. I didn't like this chapter. Joseph comes to his side with Joseph's 2 oldest sons. Jacob prepares to give his blessing to them. And he recalls the blessing he got so long ago. So they recap the blessing he got. You're going to be a great nation, this, that, and the other.
They love to tell it over and over.
A lot of recapping.
It's funny that they make so many cuts to the Bible, and it's like, you left the same story in 27 times.
Yeah, exactly.
You cut full other books.
Yeah, full books with cool shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy that disproved Billy
Carson.
Yes. He says there's a Book of Enoch translation on Amazon that is good.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's get on
I
that.
took a screenshot of what time he says it in the video.
Let's get on that. I
My
like it.
Amazon's all fucked up still.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, I'll order it.
I'll send it to
Send
you.
it to me. I'll order it. I mean, if it's reasonably priced,
I would
and
be
if-
willing
if-
to
and I would-
share
I
the
would-
cost.
I would I would request the return and
Yes.
see if it was free.
Do you use Zelle?
Jacob is prepared to give his blessing. Jacob makes a bold move. Jacob claims Joseph's 2 older sons as his own. This is where shit gets a little technical in the will. This would I don't know if he's kind of getting a little weird and Joseph's in his ear. I don't know. Who knows what's happening here? But this is what it's saying. Jacob claims his 2 oldest sons as his own.
Joseph's 2 oldest sons.
Jacob claims Joseph's 2 oldest sons as his own. Above his 2 oldest sons, Reuben and Simon. So he's claimed these 2, Joseph's new kid. This means that Joseph and his family will get a double portion of his inheritance.
Right.
Yes. They then go on to say he could be thinking of Rachel, and it could be still fresh in his mind. Perhaps claiming Joseph's 2 kid as his own is a way to honor her once more. That's what they're claiming is. I think it's horseshit. He's always played favorites. We know exactly what he's doing here.
He's not a great guy.
He's a little slimy.
He's been
He's a
this
little
guy the whole
slimy.
time.
He's no Isaac.
He's no Esau.
He's no Esau.
Esau should be the guy.
He's no fucking Esau.
Esau didn't have 12 kids or whatever. That's the only thing.
That is the thing. Well, who knows how many kids he's had? Is that like 10 wives? I don't know.
He's a great huntsman. How is he not?
He's a huntsman.
You know where the Jews would be at if Esau got the line?
Oh my God.
Instead of this slime ball?
No. Or maybe that's why they're running things now. Who knows? That's why business
Yeah,
runs.
admittedly.
You know what I mean?
They've done quite well for
That's why we're
themselves.
Esau.
I was going to say, yeah.
Your people.
My priorities. It's
Yeah.
like, he's a great huntsman.
He's a great
Look where we're at.
We're doing this.
Yeah. He's in Egypt.
Exactly. Jacob starts to bless the 2 sons, and he asks Joseph to arrange them in order. There's a little callback because he says to Joseph, he remembers what happened with his dad, how he got his false blessing. So he tells Joseph, who are these kids in front of me? Like, tell me who this is. You tell me. Don't lie to your father. So he tells him whatever. Lots of reminiscing, lots of being thankful for life and where he's been and blah, 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 blah. It is implied that the older will receive the greater blessing. This goes into the same thing with him and Esau. The Esau should have got the blessing. Some shisty things happened. The younger one got the blessing. As he's given the blessing, everybody's bowing. The older, the younger. I guess you have a blessing with your right hand. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they explicitly say that, but this is what is assumed. Nobody notices. He crosses his hands. He gives the better blessing to the younger.
Wow.
In a final shisty.
But didn't God tell, like, God informed...
It was a prophecy.
For his.
Yes.
So him doing it is just like an homage that
He
no one...
flipped it.
Yeah, no, he's just like the least compelling character so far in the line.
He gives the blessing to the younger kid. He references God as the angel. Could be referencing a future of the Trinity.
You know what that guy says? The linguist guy? He says that angel isn't a thing, it's what something does.
What?
Like, it's a angel, you can't be an angel. Like, a cherubim is a thing. And like, he was naming other shit. The demons are a thing.
Yeah.
But like an angel.
An angel is when you ascend?
No, an angel is like something you do. I don't know. I got to rewatch it.
Send me that.
Yeah.
This I like. Write these things down.
I know.
This is beautiful. God.
I get very distracted, you know, man.
Jacob asks God to keep the line going through them. You're carrying my line. When Joseph sees that the younger is getting the blessing, he becomes angry and thinks his father made a mistake. Jacob clarifies that this is exactly what he intended and concludes by saying, the people of Israel, I didn't get this, the people of Israel will wish each other well by invoking the success of Ephraim and Manasseh.
I don't know who those guys are.
That's the two kids. Joseph's two kids who had the blessing. So I didn't get that, but maybe someone will, and they'll be nice enough in the comments to let us know in a nice and easy way.
Not mocking.
Yeah.
Not being like, you guys don't know.
It's Bible for dummies. We're the dummies sometimes.
We're allowed to learn.
Chapter concludes with Jacob giving Joseph and his descendants a very specific piece of land in Canaan as a gift.
Who did?
Jacob gives Joseph and his descendants a very specific piece of Canaan as a gift.
But Canaan, Canaan is still just a land promised to them, correct?
Yes.
They've never been.
This is a specific area that I guess earlier portions in Genesis don't mention the specific piece of land or Jacob's conquest of it, but some say it's Shechem. Remember that town? Shechem? That's the one that they went and they fucked up because all the people raped his daughter, Diana, and Levi and Simon went in there. They fucked everybody up. They had everybody get circumcised, and they fucked him up. Remember that? Some say that's this town that they're giving him.
Okay.
That he's saying, like, hey, this shit's kind of run down. How about you guys can go populate that again? Don't ask what Daddy did over here. But this town's yours, son.
You think I was bad now? You should have seen me back in my heyday.
Yeah.
I wasn't just mixing up blessings. I was cutting dudes' dicks off.
Yeah. 49 is an interesting chapter that I didn't really write specific notes down because it might end up just us reading the actual book. But he goes through each kid. He has unfinished business, he says. I got unfinished business with these boys.
The Don.
He calls all 12 kids in, and he gives them a glimpse of all of their futures.
Joseph can see the future in his dreams.
Joseph, yeah. I meant Jacob.
No, you said Jacob.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, it's a shitty
Joseph
gift for
can.
him.
Yeah, no, exactly.
He does this already.
Yeah,
everyone else is like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. 49. Jacob is still clinging to life. He wants to settle some unfinished business. He gives his kids specific blessing, some good, some bad. He tells them a piece of their future, and he says each of them will be their own tribe. So this is when he's signifying, like, you guys are the 12 tribes, right? The first three predictions from Jacob are harsh. He holds Reuben, Simon, and Levi accountable for their sins and condemns them decades later. This is when they pillaged the town. They raped. They didn't rape. They murdered all those people. Reuben, I don't know if we want to read all this. So, you are unstable as well. Okay, yeah, he holds them all accountable. We'll streamline it. The first three predictions come from Jacob. They're harsh. Well, neither tribe will come. Neither tribe will come to possess much of the promised land. The tribe of Levi will become priests, which we see. That's why Moses and the other dude.
Jews don't have priests.
Rabbis or whatever. Jews don't have priests. So he says that neither of those tribes will come to possess much of the promised land. Levi's line will become priests, which we see with Moses and the other dude. I can't remember his name, but we see it. They become priests and like all that shit. In contrast, Judah's tribe will become great. The fourth son of Jacob will be the ancestor of most Israel kings and rulers. In fact, the kingship will remain in Judah forever. Jesus, the Messiah, is a descendant of Judah and King David. And will be known as the Lion of Judah.
So is he like the next? Oh no, Joseph's the next guy. As far as the God line, but then Judah still has.
Well, I don't know because it goes into Moses is the next book. Moses is the next like dude. That's where like the Bible kind of carries on through. Judah goes into like I think that's I could be butchering a lot of this because I don't know. Judah, I assume, is going to be like the Book of Kings, like King Solomon, like I think Solomon, whatever. They have books or whatever. And then like Exodus, Deuteronomy, Numbers, and all that. That's all Moses' books. And then we go into like the book of Simon, something. There's another book of another dude on like Levi's side. And then we go into like the book of Kings, which could be Judah's stuff. And then I don't know what goes on after that. But that info charts dude, what's that called? Great, the charts guy?
Useful charts?
The useful charts guy. He said there's which I got to rewatch the video. He says there's some kind of conspiracy or there's some other theories that Judah was kind of just thrown in there. He wasn't really part. Like, who knows?
So it seems like Joseph's the guy if he's getting dreams from God. No one else is.
Yeah. And I don't really know what happens to Joseph after this. Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, he dies, but yeah. But so Jesus and all them come from there. The other kids, we can read it on if you want. Judah, he calls Judah the lion cub. Judah. Okay, so he goes into the other kids. I don't really know if you want to read into the other kids. But he saves the best for last, Joseph. He says his people will be fruitful and fight for their attackers in strength of the mighty one of Jacob. Notable Old Testament warriors of such as Joshua, Gideon, Deborah will all be from these tribes of Ephraim and Messiah. Those are the two kids that got the blessing. All the blessings, all the material blessings of the earth will come to them. So they'll be rich, I guess. The final prediction for Jacob's younger son is Benjamin. Oh, read Bible riff is what I have written down. His people compared to voracious, vicious predator. The Benjaminites would be known for their military accomplishments. They would be associated with a horrific incident in Judges, which sparks a civil war, I guess. I guess we'll get into that later. In Judges 20. The first king of Israel, Saul, will be from this tribe and will rule as a marked by predatory, violent streak. Everything except very good in Joseph. Okay. Then he tells his sons, don't bury me in Egypt. Don't fucking bury me here. I don't want to fucking bring me back to my dad. My people. Don't fucking bury me here. And with his business finished, Jacob dies.
Finally.
He's really clinging on. Joseph, Genesis 50, we're done. Joseph weeps openly, falls on his father's body, kissing his face. Death for him hits hard. Joseph orders his body to be embalmed, meaning mummified, by the Egyptian doctors. Joseph will be set about obeying his father's final wishes to be buried in Canaan. This is interesting. Although Joseph has been invested with incredible authority to the Pharaoh, he's still technically a slave. Technically. And he has to go ask Pharaoh permission. They make this a big point. He has to go ask Pharaoh permission. And they're like, well, technically, because he's still a slave. He has to go, he might not be able to go, bury his father. And he goes and he tells the Pharaoh, and the dude is like overjoyed. He's like, absolutely. I'll give you a convoy.
It's like, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. I'm going to give you a convoy. There's an incredible funeral procession.
Nice.
That leads back to Canaan. They stop off at a field. There's a lot of bullshit, and they spend 7 days of traditional ritual mourning sites. There's some shit about renaming a field. It's in Bible riff. They call it to a meadow because it's fucking dumb. I don't know, but I'm sure it's cool for somebody. The Bible thinks, the brother thinks that with their father dead, Joseph is now enraged with them for selling him into slavery all those years ago. They think, he was just holding it together because dad's still alive. Now that he's gone, he's going to be pissed at us. Again, he's not at all. Why would he? He's been very successful. Also fully understands that this is God's plan. So, why would he be mad? That's when they're begging at his feet. He goes on a long talk about how he's been blessed and this, that, and the other. He's not going to seek revenge. Everybody's happy. They spend the rest of Joseph's life summarizing, explaining his good fortune. At age 110, he sees death coming. As Jacob did, Joseph makes Israel's sons. What the fuck does this mean? Oh, okay. Basically, Joseph makes his sons the head of Israel, the heads of their tribes, like his dad did. And he tells them, "Hey, don't keep my body here. Take it to Egypt someday. I don't know. Take it out of Egypt. I want to be with my family. Mm-hmm. So take me out of here." His body is embalmed and remains kept in a coffin in the possession of Israel in Egypt. And then later on, Moses, I guess, takes his bones to the promised land. And Genesis ends.
Damn.
That was a lot.
I don't get the Joseph Reuben split. I got to look into that.
The what?
Why would it go to Reuben to go to Moses? Feels like it would go
Levi.
to Joseph.
Why it would go to Levi to... Why it carries on with Moses?
Yeah.
Through Levi? I didn't get that either.
And that Reuben gets all the nice stuff.
Yeah, because if I open up the, we're kind of going long. I mean, we can cut some of it, but yeah, Levi. Oh, Aaron and Moses are like the two. Like Moses is the prophet. Aaron is like the high priest. We also get Samuel, who's the prophet from Levi. Judah, you get all those kings. You get King David.
It's just weird. Like, we barely hear from God anymore.
You don't really hear from
Guy
God.
was a trickster, this Jacob.
This Jacob dude.
I don't know. Jacob really grinded this thing to a halt. Esau thought was going to bring it back.
I guess Joseph, you get the, I think that's the book of Judges. Joshua and Gideon, Deborah. I don't know. Saul. But all like kind of B-list characters, in my opinion. I don't know. We haven't read much into them, but I don't get why it carries on with Moses. And I assume they'll tell you.
No Abraham.
I assume they'll fucking tell you, but
No Isaac.
no Isaac.
No Ishmael.
No. Well, that's where the Arabs come from. That's
Yeah,
why
he didn't even carry the line, and he was better than half these people getting to carry it now. It's great.
I wonder if you can read the Quran now and it would pick up from Ishmael.
I was listening to that one guy, the linguist dude, talk, and he was on some dumbasses podcast, and as he was naming all those Bible things, he's like, "What are jinns?" And the guy almost fell out of his seat. He's like, "Jinns come about almost about 1,000 years later in the Quran.
Really?
Yeah. There's no jinns in the Bible." He said it much nicer.
I spell Ishmael.
ISHA. Or no, delete MA.
I got it right. So the Quran does elaborate on Ishmael's line. They have 2 chapters that focus on him. That'd be kind of cool to like piece them all together, make like a master list. Well, I'm sure that info charts guy does.
A master list, a master race.
All right. You got anything else?
Genesis.
Genesis,
It's been
baby.
a pleasure.
We're done.
Now on to the Enuma Elish.
Yeah, Enuma Elish is next, right? Yeah. 7 tablets.
That's Sumerian for you laymen out
Yeah,
there.
for you people out there. Pop into that video next.